And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their efficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Carr. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Working from the gun, it's Carr. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Sherrills to return it. Oh, shifty. Whoa. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And a nice gain of 21 yards. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got room. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a man who began with the Raiders, it's Latavius Murray. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun.
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10.
Right now, lucky 56. Gun.
They'll set up a throw. It's caught by Treadwell. 23 yards on the play. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets them up 1st and goal.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make...
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Latavius Murray scoring a touchdown against his former mates. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Forbath, the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Forbath out to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
808. 29.
Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Letting one go deep for Roberts. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
24.
Throwing his car on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Now, check. Patriots.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Left side caught by Diggs. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. A very solid gain of 27. Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one thing, but how about the niftiness in his route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get to him before the ball arrives. He's something after the catch as well.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Gone.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So out come the Raiders. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice. So they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
93. Yeah, 98's down. 58, 98.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. screen play. Anderson. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
On third down, here's Jones. And some room to maneuver. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
First down, here's the run with Anderson. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Yo, Chief. Hey. 6-18.
On second down, Anderson. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On third down, Carr. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And out now come the Vikings. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Detroit!
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
On second down, Cook. Room here to run. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Over! Leopard!
He'll look to throw. And he finds Cook. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Blue 90.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Flush to his right. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. Third down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback who's going to his left. A little bit tougher.
Exactly.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Detroit! No. Check. Patriot!
Back to the ground, Cook. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. And he's going to be met at about the 43. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
Watch him now, Barney.
That was second down run for Murray. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. The Vikings on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is third down and 12.
All right, now, lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now Oakland ready to take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now, 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll drop to throw. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw here. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And Forbath will put this one through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
White. Hands up. 29. Let 5-man box.
Carr now on 1st down. Lets it go for Nelson. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
7:34. Down. You ready? 6:18. Purdue.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. The final shot here before half for Carr. Being chased out left. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Now let's go.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And his kick is right through. Forbath out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Get down, get down. 180.
Now Carr. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage would be found.
Again, Anderson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A pair of negative running plays, and now they're looking up at a third down at 17 to go. From the gun, it's Carr. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there. And receivers come open. Great discipline on that play.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Bruce Irvin in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Taking it about the 36. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing now is Carr. A quick hitter complete. It's Roberts. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher for guys trying to get to the football.
So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Here now, Johnny Townsend. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And now out comes Minnesota. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
A handoff. It's Murray. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Again, it's Murray. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Green 39. Gone.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
Not taking your advice, they'll throw first play. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Cook following the penalty. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Escaping, and he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Watch it now, Barney.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Play action. Now it's Carr. Finds Roberts left side. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Down. You ready? You got 56 there. 29. 29.
Now Carr, got to have this one. And Cook has it, left side. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Carr now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Carr to throw again. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
29. 808. Go, go. Hey, 734. Right down.
Carr will try it again on second down. Looking deep downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! Green, 39!
On first down, Murray. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on second and 10. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's caught by Treadwell. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Lucky 56.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And Rudolph has it left side. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. No gain on the play there. Second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Again, it's Cook. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 18. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sheldon Richardson getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. And he cuts up the football near his own goal line. And the offense does cover this one, but back inside their own 5-yard line.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So this one fairly well in the bag as they take over with a 1st and goal.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll try to run it in with Murray. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Watch you now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run for it with Cook. Oh, no, he lost the football. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Forbath out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first, or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
Raider 1. You're mine. Hey, Raider 2.
On 1st down, Carr eluding the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Well, now a carry here for the fullback. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
A first throw for the backup Cook. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And down he'll go at the 25. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Forbath, the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sheldon Richardson in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And they will take a knee here. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Minnesota, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Oakland, it's another week, another loss, as they fall now to 0-9. And they will try to turn it around next week as they head down to Carson for a matchup with the LA Chargers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.